Whether you're trying to invest in real estate, stocks, especially stocks, and any other investments, anything with short term is a very bad idea unless you're a day trader. But again, day traders 80% of the time lose money. Majority of them lose money. Now, when it comes to short term investing, Tesla is probably one of the worst ideas if you're thinking to hold Tesla for the short term. And I'm going to show you why in just a bit. Because Tesla stock is very volatile. It goes up, it goes down. For crying out loud, in 1 year, it went from $400 per share to 100. Oh my God. And if you guys have been following Tesla for a long time, you guys already know how volatile this thing is. So let's get down to it. I'm going to show you guys why investing in Tesla for the short term absolutely sucks and is absolutely not a good idea. And another reason why holding Tesla for the long term is the greatest idea, the most smartest idea. So if you guys are ready, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go. And as you guys haven't figured it out already, I am back here in Kuwait. We got the Go All In poster here and the billboard here. So that's how you guys know I'm back in Kuwait. Welcome back to me, I guess, right? All right, let's go. So firstly, let's go ahead and check out Tesla's stock chart for since IPO pretty much. And let's see how volatile and how bad of an idea it is to invest in Tesla for the short term and why it's a great idea to invest it in the long term. So check this out, guys. So Tesla IPO'd July 2nd or somewhere during the summertime of 2010. Let's say you bought it sometime in, I don't know, November at $2.35 back in the day. If you held for the entirety of 2010 to March of 2013, you've made no money. You've pretty much lost money. You lost 2%. And if this was your time horizon, or let's just say a short term of like 3 months or something like that, let's say 6 months, all right? Let's get around 6 months, November to April. I know that's 6-7 months. You're down 30%. 30%. You are down if you held it for the short term, though. That burns. That absolutely burns. But however, guys, if you guys held till 2013, you would have made about almost 5 to 6 folds. And what did you do? You did nothing. You just held. And you had a much of a longer time frame, not short term, not 6 to 12 months, at least 3 years and beyond, right? So March of 2014, if you held from 2010 to 2014, like 4 years or 3.5 years, you would have made 5 to 6 fold on your money. That's absolutely insane. But we're not done yet. Let's say you bought right at $16.41 on March 7th of 2014. You've made no money, or maybe a little bit of money, keep going. For a solid 5 years, you've made no money. In fact, you've lost 11%. Again, that must burn. Holding a stock for 5 years. And then you would have not made money. You've lost money. Not only did inflation beat you here, but this is just sad. Like 5 years holding. And again, 5 years is not a short term. It's more of a medium to a little bit of a long term. But look what happened a year after that, or just a few months after that. You had this little spike over here. You were up about 2 to 3 folds. And if it crashed down to what it was a little bit, you were still up almost a double. Then guess what happened? It went all the way up. Look at that. If you go to that first peak there, this was about 1,700% gain. And if you went all the way to the peak here at like 414 or 407, whatever it was, whatever Google is showing here, about over almost 2,400%. That is sheesh. That's what it is. That is a sheesh moment right there. But okay, let's bring it back up and let's go back to the short term again. Let's say for March. Let's go for September, like right here. You would have made 0.18%. Okay, let's go for another 3 months. You're down for 19%, 17%, 18, 20% almost. You're almost down 20% because you held short term. But if you held long term, going to the peak here. Now long term is about 5+ years in my book. At minimum is 5 years. 5 to 10 years is long term to me, and pluses beyond that is even longer term. You would have made 2,500%. That's absolutely insane. Now let's say you bought here at the tip, right? At the tip over here of $407. We know that the highest was all-time high is 414, but here it's showing 407. But that's okay. You would have been down. 1/3 of your investment is down. If you held for hasn't even been 2 years yet, right? But if you tried, if your goal was to hold Tesla stock for the short term, you would have been more smoked than ever in the history of Tesla. That's just how it is. Looking at how the chart is, That's how it is. If you've been holding Tesla stock for a short term, 3, 6, 9, 12 months, even up to 2 years, that's still short term for Tesla, you are smoked. Just recently, right here from 2021 November till now, till today, the recording of this video, which would be a Friday or a Saturday, you're down almost 33%. 1/3 of your investment, you're almost down. Now, will it go down? I don't know. It could have gone. It could go lower next month or the month after that if Q3 comes out bad. But that's not the bet that you should make. You should not make the bet that, 2 years time, 3 years time. If you want to make a bet on a company like Tesla, it should be at least a minimum of 5 years. Anything less than that, man, you're pretty much 99% guaranteed to lose. 50-60% to break even. My opinion and my opinion alone. Now, if you, let's say you bought into the panic and you sold at an all-time low, you would have lost 69% or 70%. I mean, 69% is more funny, but you would have lost 69% of your money because you played a short term, right? Investing in Tesla stock, I'm gonna say it again, investing in Tesla stock for the short term is a very bad idea. That's why I'm long on Tesla. I started my position back in 2020 and I'm holding it until at least 2030, unless something comes in between. But other than that, the account is locked until 2030 and I'm buying every single week, whenever I can, pretty much. So here's the charts, right? This is what the chart says for the past more than a decade, like 2013, like 13, 14 years of Tesla being on the stock market. Now the question is, how will Tesla perform for the next 3 to 6 months? Again, this is short-term looking, but it's not good news. I have this chart over here to show you guys on a quarterly basis on how would Tesla do in the short term. Let me go ahead and make it full screen here so we can see. Now, what I'm using here in Q3 and Q4, I'm using Troy Tesla's number. He's expecting in Q3 there's going to be around 452,000 vehicle deliveries, and in Q4 of 463,000 vehicle deliveries because some of the lines on Texas and some other factories is being held up because of the Cybertruck, and some of the materials is going for the Cybertruck part to get that up and running, and that's going to have some effect in some of the Model Y lines. That's his theory, and that's some of the theories coming out in data as well. But this is his numbers. We'll do my numbers later as well. I'm a bit more bullish than him. But take a look at this, guys. In Q3 here, he said 452,000. I'm putting here a total gross margin or a vehicle gross profits of 17.3%, which would give us a total gross margin of gap of 17.8%. $25 billion in revenue. Now, yeah, we do have the revenue more, and we do have the net income gap more, as well as the gap as well. Gap and non-gap, both of them are more than the previous quarter, as well as the operating margin. If we can see that, that's amazing because I put here energy being more than last year. Troy didn't put anything about energy as much as I'm aware of. But if we give it a 60 PE, now right now it's 80 PE, let's give it a 70 PE instead. That's about $234 per share. And if they do a number like this, I could see it going down as low as 60 or 65, around there to $201 per share. But let's give it a PE of 70 because we are at an 80. $234 per share of a market cap of over $750 billion. Now, although the EPS is more than the last quarter, the EPS on a fiscal period is lower than last quarter. So last quarter was $3.51, $3.35. If we take a look at Q4, it's the same thing. And if we give that an 80 PE, that's $253 per share. Even if you give it a 90, it's about almost 284, not too far as what it is right now. So really, if you look at it, compared to the all-time highs, we're not even reaching 300 yet if Troy's numbers becomes true, right? That's his numbers. But however, though, if we go ahead and put my delivery numbers, I think it was 484,000 in Q3, then we get a whole different situation. We get an EPS still on a fiscal year lower than the last quarter, but it's still on the right track. We are reaching all-time highs, a record of vehicle deliveries, which is absolutely flipping awesome. And this would increase the operating margin here. And this would give it a PE of 75, maybe 256. 80. Now, obviously, you got Wall Street coming out and saying that Dojo's the next thing. They're looking Tesla as an AI company, so maybe that can also help with the hype as well. Give it an 85 PE. If we give it a 90, that goes over 300, and that's what everyone's expecting. If 484,000 comes true, and I hope it kind of does, right? I mean, we do need Tesla stock to go up a little bit. It's been trading sideways for a very long time, and a little bit on the downside too. But nonetheless, Lesson here is short term sucks when it comes to Tesla, and this is still short term. From 2021 till even end of 2023 is still short term. Now in Q4, I'm saying 525,000 vehicle deliveries with a 90 PE, which is $303 per share. Now, obviously, personally, I do think Tesla stock is more closer worth in the 125 PE because of their AI, their FSD, which would be $421 per share in my opinion. So if this theory comes right, if this prediction comes right, then yeah, you could, if you bought at an all-time high, you probably could break even by end of this year or by January 21st of 2024, between January and April of 2024. Not financial advice, but I'm just saying that, right? I'm just saying as an estimation, as a prediction. But obviously, more Wall Street needs to come out to see Tesla stock as an AI company for the PE to be higher. So that's why I'm going to keep it at like 80 PE, 90 PE. Just reaching the 300 by end of the year does make sense if these numbers come true, if Tesla can do almost 1.9 million vehicle deliveries, and if they're growing 44% year over year growth. I mean, that's what it would be if they do almost 1.9 million vehicle deliveries in 2023. But nonetheless, guys, I would not be sure that these numbers will become true. Right now, Tesla, they are upgrading. They are trying to get the Cybertruck up and running. 3 years time, 4 years time, oh yeah, these numbers are going to be peanuts. Tesla's going to be doing millions each quarter in terms of deliveries, hands down. But now, next quarter and the quarter after that, these are all short terms, and these are short term headwinds that we all have to look out for, and we should not have a short term position on Tesla. This is my opinion. Data says it's not a good idea. We are seeing here it's definitely not a good idea, and if we're in Tesla, we're in it for the long run. And data shows, again, the chart shows, again, I'm pulling the chart here again, the chart shows that if you hold long term, you're going to do extremely well with Tesla. That's all I gotta say. So to conclude this video, Tesla stock sucks short term. Terrible investment in the short term. Short term is bad for Tesla stock and pretty much any other stock, but Tesla mainly because it's so volatile. The best advice I can tell you, or the best thing that this data tells me to tell you guys, is that long term matters when it comes to Tesla stock or any other stock really, but mainly Tesla stock. Again, as we're seeing here in this chart, look at this chart, like look at that. It's monstrous, it's crazy, and if you look at Amazon, if you look at Microsoft, if you look at Apple, they all have great long-term perspective. And Tesla is a very great company, an awesome company, a very innovative company, a company that I do not want to bet against. And yes, if you guys already been watching my channel, I am all into Tesla stock. I am close to 700 shares, guys. I think I need like 15 more. If you guys aren't following me on X, then you guys are, I don't know what you guys are doing, man. Follow me on Twitter or X because I do post a lot there. And yes, this video will be there up there as well. So again, end of the line, short-term investment for Tesla, not a good idea. Long-term investment, 5+ years, 10 years, longer the better, a fantastic idea. Not financial advice, none of that. I mean, here, let me show you guys the long-term aspect of Tesla stock. This I forgot to go over. So we have the year over year up until 2030. Look at that. 2023, 275 at what the stock price is right now. 2024, if you do almost 2.4 million vehicles, $354 per share. But let's just go ahead and skip to 2030 of $1,600 per share and a market cap of $5.2 trillion. That's what matters long term by 2030. 5 to 6, 7xing, I can see that with Tesla easily. But again, this is the stock price prediction chart for energy and vehicles alone, right? Obviously, we have FSD and everything else coming, insurance and bots and all that kind of stuff. I've made that video separately right over here. Obviously, it's all speculation and should be taken with a grain of salt because the robotaxi and everything's in there, and I don't know how to calculate that. I just went based on ARK's numbers because they know what they're doing apparently. So check that out. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. Get your Bought the Dip shirt, man. 10% off if you use the code RIPBEARS. And subscribe. And I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.